Hey, what's up everybody? This is Alicia Way. In this video, we're going to talk about the unique opportunity that we still have with the internet and how we can still use the internet to make our presence and our impact felt in the world at large. And secondly, how we can take some actionable and practical steps to achieving that. Coming right up. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing. In this video, like I said, we're going to talk about two major things. The first thing is I'm going to lay the framework down for the second thing that I want to talk about. But first we have to, like I said, lay the framework down. And I'll start by saying this. The internet is still new. The internet is still very new. If you think about it, if we just say the civilization has only been around for 2020 years, which we know has been around far longer than that, but we'll just say 2020 years, the internet has still only been around for only 20 to 30 years of that. Think about that. Only 20 to 30 years have people been using the internet on a daily basis for emails and whatever other case that they use it for, work, etc. So if you really grasp that concept, right, and you think about how we still have a very unique opportunity in the history of the world to take advantage of something that is completely uncharted territory and still in many ways, you will really kind of approach using the internet a little bit different than you probably have been already. See, the way I see it is when the internet first came out, there have been certain people. Of course, we already know the gurus, the true gurus and pioneers and innovators of the internet, and how they completely changed the game in so many ways, in so many just mind-blowing avenues that they opened up and things like that for the internet, for other users. I mean, of course, some things come to mind like the inventors of Google, of course, the inventors of YouTube, the inventors of Facebook, the inventors of Amazon, the inventors of Alibaba, or any of these other sites. There's tons and tons and tons of sites, tons of technology that has come forth since the internet has really came out 20 to 30 years ago. And if you think about that, you really still have a very unique opportunity, a very awesome chance to still get in on some groundbreaking innovation as it relates to the internet. But what a lot of people do is they use the internet for entertainment versus building wealth. And I get that because, you know, a lot of entertainment is on the internet. So it's kind of hard not to get caught up in the entertaining side of the internet. But I read in a book once, you know, you have producers and you have consumers, you know, so if you're not careful, you'll find yourself on the consumer side a lot more than the producer side. Now, I do get we have to do some level of consumption in life. We have to live, of course. And on the internet, it's very easy to do a lot of consumption, but you have to bring your mind back into thinking, am I doing more producing than consuming, or am I doing more consuming than producing? And you have to keep yourself on the production side of things, because if you stay on the consuming side of things, that's a slippery slope. And one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, I got nothing accomplished in my entire life. So you have to stay on the production side more than the consumption side. So with all that being said, I really do believe that we have a very unique opportunity still with the internet. And I'm not the most tech savvy person. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty practical guy. But at the end of the day, I believe that, you know, we all have our God-given gifts and talents and aspirations and ideas and goals and dreams. And the internet is the perfect place for you to make those things come to fruition. Okay, so that's just the first thing I wanted to say. That's kind of like the framework and the mindset that we should use going forward with the internet. Is let's use the internet, right, going forward to the best of our ability to generate wealth, to generate income, to make our dreams come true, to, start legacies for our family, to just take the opportunity to just get in on a very unique time in history. If you go back in history and you look at all the unique times in history where people really recognized what was going on and they took full advantage of it, like maybe the gold rush comes to mind, maybe the industry, the car industry or something like that, maybe the manufacturing industry. There's tons of times that come to mind when people really took advantage of what was going on at that particular time in the world, and they took full advantage of it, and they literally changed the trajectory of their lives and their families' lives from generations to come, all because they had enough sense to be like, okay, what's going on right now in the world, and see how important it is, and to just get in on it. They don't have to take it over. You just want to get a little piece of what's going on, because even just a little piece of what's going on can change your life. In the gold rush, just a little piece of that gold rush change lives. You dig? So that's kind of how I feel like where we're at right now. We're in a unique time in the world where the internet, like I said, is still very new. There's still a lot of uncharted territory online. So even like I said, and before, I'm not the most tech savvy person, but even if you don't know a lot of internet stuff or tech savvy stuff or computers or coding or web design and all these crazy things, which I don't, there's still enough information out there, still enough know-how, still enough programs and information that you could still put yourself in a better position than you might be right now. Which brings me to my second point, and as far as our mindset and how we should really be trying to change our perspective, and myself included, on how we interact with the internet. So a lot of times, and don't get me wrong, I love social media. Social media is great. Without social media, there's a lot of things that wouldn't be possible right now on the internet. Social media just closes up a lot of gaps, fills a lot of spaces, helps a lot of people, makes a lot of connections. And for that, social media is great. My only issue with social media, and it's not so much with social media, it's with us, it's the people, how we have allowed social media, right, to take the place of what otherwise would have been great platforms or great business ideas or great websites or great blogs or great whatever that would have really allowed us to monetize something that was within us, like intellectual property. I'm big on that whole concept of intellectual property, because at the end of the day, God gave us all, right, ideas. God gives us all concepts and ideas and visions that nobody else can conceive. That's why it's so crazy when you go to somebody with a vision that God gave you, they can't see it. They literally can't even conceive the concept. They're like, you crazy. Or they're like, they just ain't vibing with it. Why? Because God gave you the vision. God gave you the idea. So they're not supposed to be able to see it. So I digress, but going back to my point, God gave us all these things. So the problem is with our intellectual property as it relates to the internet is whenever we have a great idea or a concept or our inner genius starts kicking in, most people, they go straight to the internet, online, social media, and start spilling their guts via posts, spilling their genius via video or via typing in a post or maybe in the comment section or something like that. And I get that, and that's all great and dandy. But I think that we have an opportunity right now, even if you don't know how to do all these extravagant things online, there's like right now 3 very obvious things that you can start implementing right now that you can slowly build over time with like a year or two, latest 3 years. If you start right now, latest 3 years from now, you can, if you just start with these baby steps, you can have your intellectual property. You can take back your intellectual property, take back your thoughts, take back your concepts, your ideas from spilling them all over the internet for complete strangers, people who don't know what you about, don't care what you about, will never invest time or energy or money into what you have going on. They're just passerbyers online. Half of them don't care. And at the end of the day, that's a waste of your life force. That's a waste of the gifts and the ideas and the concept that God has put in you. So The three things that I want to talk about is that you can do right now, because it don't take a whole lot of money. It don't take a whole lot of know-how. It don't take a whole lot of experience or tech savviness, if that's a word. 3 actionable steps that I want everybody to consider doing, right? 3 actionable steps that you can do in conjunction with your social media, in conjunction with other things that you're already doing online, that these 3 things will have a significant impact on how you start looking at the internet and how you start using the internet for your own self to generate wealth. First thing is create a YouTube channel. The second thing is create a blog. The third thing is create a podcast. Okay. YouTube channel, a blog, podcast. You don't have to be in that order, but those 3 things alone, if you really hone in on those 3 things, YouTube channel, podcast, blog, if you really hone in on how to master those 3 outlets and those 3 platforms and begin to drive traffic off of your social media to your own brands via those platforms, you're going to see your life change. You're literally, no matter what your passion is, it don't matter what your passion is, you're going to be able to monetize those 3 things crazy, in a very lucrative manner, and now begin to take your life back, take control of your time, right? And be able to just monetize something that you were already doing. Because at the end of the day, you're already online all day. You're already on social media all day. You're already typing all day as it is. You're already doing all these things. You're doing all these things right now anyway. You're just doing them for free because you don't understand that there's people out here who are doing the same thing that you're doing. They're just not doing it for free. The bad part about social media is that people are doing what on social media for free. They're doing on social media for free what other people are doing off of social media and getting paid big bucks to do. That's no cap. Most people on social media are doing for free, right? What other people are doing the same thing of, the same energy, the same time, the same effort, focus, the same everything. They're doing it off of social media and getting paid big bucks. Big bucks. So that's something to think about. We still have a very unique opportunity to make our presence known or leave our mark in this world via the internet. A lot of people say the internet is oversaturated. That's a crazy concept to say the internet is oversaturated. I read some stat the other day, and I've read conflicting stats, because some will say this amount and some will say a way bigger amount, but I'm gonna just go with the lower stat. And the lower stat said that 50 million people per year will get online for the first time every year. So let me say that again. Every year, 50 million people will get on the internet for the first time. For the first time, every single year, 50 million people get on the internet for the first time. So what does that mean? That means that if you start your YouTube channel, if you start your blog, if you start your podcast, whatever you start, you can start a whole lot of other stuff as well. But those are just the 3 main practical things that you can start right now. Little out of pocket expenses to start these things. The most expense you will probably spend is your branding. And if you go to Fiverr, get some graphics done, some branding done, you can get that very inexpensive as well. But podcasts and YouTube channels and blogs, a lot of those you can start for free. Okay. But my point is, if you start your blog now, your podcast now, your YouTube channel now, you got to understand that you're going to be able to get in front of those 50 million new people that get online every year. I like to look at it like you're going to be the person who was the first influencer that somebody saw when they got on the internet for the first time. Whether that be a young child who's now turning 15, 16, 17, 18, and they start using the internet on a daily basis for serious matters like education or just how to do this or whatever, entertainment still. You could be one of the first people that child grows up watching and respecting you because you were one of the first people that they Googled something and your video came up. You know what I'm saying? Or it could just be an older person who's really trying to force themselves to learn how to use the internet because they've been putting it off. I come into people like that all the time, man. Like, I don't got time for internet. I don't want to use email, none of that stuff. But as internet is becoming more prevalent, a lot of the doctor's offices and things like that are forcing older people to use the internet to schedule their booking, schedule their appointments. They're sending their lab results through email, stuff like that. So even older people are now kind of being forced to get on the internet. And, you know, you could be one of the first people that older people see on the internet, and you become an authority figure in that person's life because they trust you and they trust what you have to say. So my point being is, with 50 million new people coming online every single year, you have a unique opportunity to get in front of those people before somebody else does. You know, they're looking for specific information, and you have that specific information that you're offering, and you can get in front of that person and begin a relationship with them that is highly monetizable. You can monetize everything. In 2020, right? There's going to be somebody in this decade from 2020 to 2030 who's going to understand the opportunity that we all have, even still now in 2020 with the internet, and they're gonna go full steam ahead with their ideas, with their concepts, with their imagination, with things that's gonna allow them to have a conducive environment to just grow and make a huge impact on the world and generate enormous amounts of wealth. Between 2020 and 2030, this decade is going to raise millionaires and billionaires, young and old, on the internet, depending on who is able to recognize and realize the opportunity that we have at hand right now. And on the flip side of that, 2020 to 2030 is going to be the same people, right? Using the internet for entertainment, using the internet for social media, and not really doing nothing but being a consumer, not a producer. And 10 years from now, they're still going to be on the internet, missing tons of opportunity, missing tons of chances to grow their influence, grow their income via all intellectual property, all what's in here. We want to take back our intellectual property. We want to use the visions, the concepts, the dreams, the goals, the inner genius that we all possess, right? We want to use these things to propel our own destiny, our own legacy, our own wealth, right? We want to use what we would definitely call our intellectual genius, our life force, instead of just putting them on these social media sites for free. We're telling everybody everything we know, not getting a penny or not getting one red cent for it, right? I mean, it's crazy when I go on people and I see a lot of people who are very passionate on these social media sites. They're so passionate about a cause, whether it's civil rights or whether it's, business entrepreneurship or whatever the cause is. They're very passionate about it. They're very passionate about teaching people, educating people, and just really bringing awareness to a cause. They leave all these elaborate posts on these social media sites. And I say to myself, take that same energy, right? That same effort, that same time, that same everything that you put into putting that post on social media, and start a blog. Start a legit blog that doesn't take a whole lot of time to put up, a whole lot of money to put up, but at the end of the day, put all of your postings and your writings and all of your thoughts and your concepts that you're putting on the social media for free. Go ahead and start a blog and start putting blog entries on your blog, right? Start driving traffic from the sites to your blog. So if you want to share this information and help people in certain ways, start a blog, put your blog entries on your blog, then take your blog entry and post it on the social media and say, hey, new blog entry up, go check it out. Because at the end of the day, once you get so much traffic to your blog, right? You get so much traffic to your blog, now that can turn into an additional source of income for you, because your blog can be highly monetizable through AdSense, Google AdSense with ads, highly monetizable through consulting that you can do, or ebooks, books that you can write and sell, your services that you can sell, affiliate marketing that you can do on your blog. These are all highly monetizable things that you can do on your blog that you could otherwise not be really able to do on social media like that. So that's something that I just want to help and talk to people about as it relates to the internet and how we interact with the internet, and just really change our mindset on how we use the internet. So yeah, what I want you to do is I want you to go in the comments. I didn't do a whole lot of research for this video. I didn't do a whole lot of scripting for this video, because at the end of the day, I just wanted you guys to hear my heart. And what I want you to do is go in the comments and, let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this concept, and let me know some ways that maybe you're thinking about, monetizing your thing that you're doing, turning your intellect into income, and not letting social media basically rob you of your intellectual genius, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what's happening, So yeah, that's all I have for this video. Make sure you jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your concepts are, or maybe some things that you plan on doing to take back control of your intellectual property online. Take back control of your thoughts, your ideas, right? Instead of spilling them all over the internet for nothing, for free. Let me know if you have a blog already. Let me know if you have a podcast. If you have a YouTube channel, let me know. I want to support and go like and subscribe to all these things that you have going, so I can check out what you have going. Jump in the comments and let me know what you thought about this video. Were there some jewels in it? Did you learn something? And please do share this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and also give me the thumbs up. That helps me, with the algorithm on YouTube. When you give it a thumbs up, it lets YouTube know that people are watching it and they're liking the content. So I do appreciate that. And yeah, until next time, catch you on the next video. Love y'all.